Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Coliseum. Tonight's game is La Salette's first season game against their big-time rivalry, Georgetown Ridge-Farm Buffalo. I am Mike McCall, and next to me to my right is Kevin Quigley. Kevin, how are you doing this evening?
I am so pumped for the Lions to kick off their season and to play Georgetown at home, one of our biggest rivals, second probably only to Arthur Okaw, now Arthur Christian. And Georgetown is just, anytime we play Georgetown, it's a big game. And I mean, we have a lot of stuff to talk about this game with the rivalry and all that, but we need to come out, we need to win, and we need to set the season off right.
And just to kick it off, this is the first time that we have played Georgetown Ridge Farm in this Coliseum since 2007. And in 2007, the backboards were still wooden, so this is the first time that on these hoops, La Salette will be playing against Georgetown. We'll go a little bit into what happened that game. Great story. Stay tuned to listen to that. But before anything happens, looks like we're getting ready to announce the starting lineups and sing the national anthem.
So we'll pause now as we sing the Hymn to Our Lady and the national anthem.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the James R. McMahon Memorial Coliseum. Tonight's matchup will be the Georgetown Ridge-Farm Buffaloes versus your La Salette Lions.
So now we're going to get the starting lineups for both teams. Starting for Georgetown, number 2, Ajon Watson, number 14, Logan Hummel, number 3, Cameron Steinball, number 14, Logan Hummel, and then number 24, Aaron McKay. Now we're going to get the lineups for La Salette. Before we do that, I'll just say that the Georgetown definitely is much more inexperienced than we're used to, just because last year the 3 best players were Jace Bina, Caden Minchie, and Cale Steinball, all of whom graduated last year. So Cameron Steinball, Cale Steinball's younger brother, is still on this team. Cale was definitely the superstar of that team, one of the best players in the area, so we'll see if Cameron has his same spark. So for the Lions, first, number 3, senior Gustin Blood, number 5, Blaze Laronia, number 11, sophomore Eamon Martin, number 32, Ford junior Charles Prather, and the captain, number 24, Matthew Romero. Coaches for both teams. The head coach for Georgetown is Tanner Ribb, and then the head coach for La Salette is, of course, Coach John Spezia.
And before we get this game kicked off, we're going to give you just a little bit of history of La Salette's rivalry with Georgetown. So back in 2007, one of our current teachers, Father Deister, was playing on the team. He was, I believe he was the point guard, and Father McMahon, the headmaster, took him aside and said, "Hey, I want you to shoot a 2. And the head coach, Mr. McMahon, took him aside and said, "No, I want you to shoot a 3. So Father Deister, with that pressure, he took the 3. The game was, they were down by 2. Father Deister takes the 3. He gets fouled, he'll miss it, and he shoots 3 free throws, making all 3 of them and winning the game. And that was the last time that La Salette played Georgetown in this Coliseum, so he's here tonight. We're going to try to get him to come over here and maybe can say something, but just what a fantastic story from Father Deister, and now we can watch Lions play against them for the first time, so I'm sure he's excited.
Lions off to a quick start. They missed the first shot, and then Georgetown ready to play quickly on the fast break. Brings it down the court, but then number 24, Aaron McKay, loses it out of bounds. Eamon Martin with the ball now, out at the wing. Matthew Romero looks calm with the ball. Blaze Laronia has it, open shot, doesn't take it. Gets it into Gus Blood. Charles Prather with the open shot, and that's good. He buries that for the first points of the season this year, Charles Prather.
And that's exactly what we want to see. We have a new team this year. A lot of big guys on the team. Last year we got a lot of shooters, and it's going to be nice to see how we adjust for these players to play for their first season game for the first time, and looks like they're adjusting well. We're going to have to adjust both on offense and defense.
Cameron Steinbaugh, the sophomore, puts Georgetown on the board 2-2. Georgetown running the full court press. Blaze Laronia not looking where Georgetown is and gets it stripped. Georgetown shoots, misses. Watson, number 2, with the rebound, the putback, and he gets fouled, so that'll be the and 1. So Lions trying to run the press break. Blaze Laronia definitely caught unawares and gets the ball tipped away.
And one thing we really have to do this game is we got to get some rebounds. We got 3 big people down in the post. Blaze Laronia, this is his first time starting varsity game, I believe, and we got Chuck, who's a veteran from last year, and Gus Blood played a couple games, but we gotta get rebounds this game.
Right, La Salette's really gonna have to work on getting that press break, just because they haven't had any in-game experience yet besides the blue and white scrimmage, and no one pressed that game. Jump ball's gonna be called. Cameron Steinball and Gus Blood both wrapped it up, and so it's gonna be Georgetown ball.
And that was kind of a soft pass by Blaze Laronia. Tried to get it into Gus Blood into the paint, but it was too slow. Georgetown jumped right on top of it. And this is the Lions' first game of the season, so they're going to have to play full speed. They played a blue and white game. Nice block by Eamon Martin. Recovered by Georgetown. They played a blue and white game, earlier, and it wasn't full speed. They were playing against each other, but they got to adjust. They got to quickened their pace this game to get past this Georgetown defense.
Gus Blood able to wrap up the ball and force a jump ball. Lions into their press break now. Crazy's loud. They know it's an important game. They're going to bring their all tonight to help La Salette. Eamon Martin from three. No good. Charles Prather tries to secure the rebound. Doesn't get it, but Blaze Laronia does. High pass to Eamon. He pulls it down. Nice spin move. Good ball possession, maintaining the ball possession by the Lions. Laronia with the shot, just off. Charles Prather secures the rebound, and he's going to get fouled on the floor. So great possession right there by the Lions, maintaining the ball, and then that ends up in a foul.
There were a few risky passes there. They dropped it a couple times. Eamon was kind of struggling with it. A high pass by Blaze Laronia. We got to correct that now. We can't be making those mistakes because Georgetown's going to jump on top of them. And it looks like we're correcting them. Another shot by Eamon Martin. That's good for three. Eamon Martin, a fantastic three-point shooter. We saw that last year, and he's coming out strong this season. I believe he's 1 for 1. Great start for him.
Number 24, McKay tries to take the floater, misses. Georgetown secures the rebound. McKay for three, and that is swatted by Blaze Laronia. He's having none of that. He struts that off, and the ball is out of bounds. It's going to be Georgetown ball, but Blaze Laronia just made a statement that Georgetown is not going to come in and shoot on us. The big men are going to take care of them.
And a very nice block. That's what we like to see from Blaze Laronia this year. You know, he's a tall man. He's quick though, so he can get out on the guard and be able to guard him, and we saw that right there in that possession. Another nice defensive play by Blaze Laronia, tipping it left and right, and we saw him do that in the blue and white game, and it's great to see that he can stay calm and controlled in this game. Earlier he was saying he was a little bit nervous, but I mean, I don't see any nerves in Blaze Laronia right now. You know, great plays on the defensive ends. And I mean, I'm hoping to see that throughout the rest of this game.
Georgetown somewhat rattled. The coach calls the timeout right before Cameron Steinbaugh threw the pass out of bounds. So Georgetown will maintain possession.
And we'd like to give a quick shout out to Mr. James Golightly, one of our old teachers. Thank you for leaving a comment. We always appreciate your comments to help us entertain you with these basketball games. He's giving a throwback to 2007, and he was here during that game, I believe, so it's a little bit of throwback for him.
Georgetown ball coming out of the timeout, down at La Salette's end of the court. Score is 5-5, 3 minutes into the game. La Salette and Georgetown neither willing to give up an easy, quick lead. Matthew Romero tips the pass away. Eamon Martin with the ball now, and he goes up in a nice layup. That was very smooth. Cameron Steinbaugh jumped up like he wanted to swat it, and Eamon just put it in right over him. And then McKay, number 24, is going to be called for the travel on the other end. Momentum is with the Lions right now.
And you saw Charles Prather right there. He fell over, and that was, even though there was no penalty called, we want to see that. He took the charge, fell over, sacrificed himself for the team, and that is exactly what our coach wants, and that what the La Salette fans want to see from this team.
Matthew Mara with the ball. Nice no-look pass to Charles Prather. Eamon Martin's open from three, and that
is
good.
What a shot! Eamon Martin knocking threes down left and right. What a great start for Eamon Martin for tonight and this season.
Number 55, Hall takes the shot. No good off the rim. Blaze Laronia, easy rebound. Lions not getting stopped by the press, I should say. John Watson there does steal the ball, and Romero will foul him. Romero's first, team's second.
And Matthew Romero, he is coming into this game maybe a little bit nervous. Last year, the Lions faced off against Georgetown. It was not at our stadium or their stadium. It was during a tournament. And St. Joe Ogden tournament, the Lions lost 43-44, 1-point game. Matthew Romero did take the last shot of the game, so he's going to come into this game with a lot of rigor to make up for that, that one shot. And so I'm so excited to see how he handles that in this game.
Watson misses his second free throw, so the foul is of no avail. Score remains 10-5 Lions. Eamon Martin dribbling down the court, evades the double team. Very nice play by Eamon. Blaze with the ball in the paint, and is thankful that the jump ball gets called because Watson probably had that ball from him.
And again, that's good to see from Blaze Laronia. You know, he grabbed that ball. He was aggressive. He did not give that ball up. He was not letting them strip it, and the jump ball was called.
Cameron Steinbach dribbling. Romero trying to contain him, and doing so. Hummel with the shot, no good. Charles Prather with the rebound. Eamon Martin with the ball now. Still haven't passed the 10 seconds line. They do now. Charles Prather with the ball behind the arc. Creates space for himself, gets the ball to Romero, but he loses it out of bounds.
Blaze Laronia shooting up to the top of the middle of the court. That's great. You know, he hasn't gotten the ball, but he's still getting up there aggressively. He was open, but Eamon Martin decided to give it to Matthew Romero, but we got to keep seeing that from Blaze to keep breaking this full court press that the Georgetown's bringing. The Buffaloes bringing.
Blaze Laronia with the steal, gets it to Eamon, who dives on the court, and he's going to be called. He's going to draw the foul from number 2, Ajon Wilson. That was a great play by both Blaze and Eamon to get the turnover.
Eamon Martin controlling the ball well tonight, and everyone's just moving around for the Lions, getting a lot of ball movement, which is great. Getting it down to the paint, nice threes from the Lions. We didn't really see a lot of threes drop in the blue and white game, but I mean, Eamon Martin's already come off with 2 threes. And Charles Prather with the second shot of the night, that's good.
The juniors are out for La Salette. Eamon Martin and Charles Prather with all 12 of the points right now, and neither of them have missed. So right now we are perfect from the junior class.
And Blaze Laronia defensively playing great. A steal, 2 tips, I believe. And Charles Prather comes down with the rebounds.
That was a great play by Charles. He was up in the air to try and block the shot, but he was able to come down and then come back up to get the rebound.
Matthew almost loses it, gets control of it. He drives into the paint, loses control of the ball. Blaze Laronia collects it. Chuck with another jump shot. That's no good. Rebound to Georgetown. Steinbach brings it up the court, drives, and Gus Blood tries to take the charge, but his feet are moving, and he'll be called for the blocking foul. Steinbach at the free throw line, shooting 2 free throws. And that's good. Lions holding the lead at 12-7, just under 2 minutes to go. Charles Prather gets it over to Matthew. Blaze wide open for the jump shot. That's good, 4-2. Steinbach takes it past the 10-second line over to Watson, and he'll be called for double dribble.
Lions right now with 3 fouls. At the beginning of the season last year, they definitely struggled with their fouls, but then eventually they got down to the point where they were rarely ever in foul trouble, so they're doing all right this game as far as fouls go as Matthew Romero travels.
And Kavanaugh came in for the Kavanaugh came in for Georgetown. He's number 4.
Eamon has switched now. He's guarding Cameron Steinbach. Eamon's a little bit quicker than Matthew, so coach probably wants him there. But Charles Prather tries to intercept the pass, but it bounces away from his grasp, and it's going to go out of bounds, Georgetown ball.
And, you know, that's an advantage that we have not really had, at least since I've been here, and that's intercepting passes thrown across the court. And Lasta wants to force those. They just forced one right there and easily picked off. However, Charles wasn't able to come up with it.
Blaze Laronia with the rebound off of Watson's shot, but then he loses it. Watson gets the ball again. No good, and Blaze gets the ball again, and it's knocked out by
Kavanaugh, I believe, number 4.
One ref signaled that it was for white, but then he was a little bit hesitant. Another one said, no, Georgetown's going to keep it. So Georgetown does have the ball. Cameron Steinball now dangerous on the elbow, drives in. Gus Blood, good defense. Shot goes off the glass. Charles Prather, that's a rebound amid 3 guys. That's very good. Eamon Martin blows past Kavanaugh. He definitely got slapped there. Refs don't call it. Shot goes out. Georgetown quick down the court again. Cameron Steinball dives in. Romero has his hand on the ball. That was not a foul, ref. I'm sorry, you're wrong. And we just gave the ball up again on a bad call by the ref.
And I mean, the ref's call, so it's going to be Georgetown's ball, and it is a shooting foul, so Steinbach will be at the free throw line for 2. Lions still holding on to a lead, 14-8, with 41 seconds left. And Steinbach will make his first free throw. And William Fitzpatrick coming into the game for Matthew Romero. Just played in his JV game. JV beat Georgetown 43-21. William Fitzpatrick had a great game on the defensive side. And he's going to come in to be able to spearhead this offense for the Lions.
Fitzpatrick up top. Eamon Martin signaling to him to slow it down and make sure that LaSalette gets the last shot of the quarter. Fitzpatrick with the ball now again. Charles Prather going off the screen from Gus Blood, but doesn't get past to him. The guards get it in to Charles Prather and then gets past to Eamon Martin, but Coach Spazio is going to call a timeout because he wants to score at the end of this quarter. He doesn't want to just maintain possession.
And you know, William Fitzpatrick, he's out there, he's a small guy compared to all these other players, but he's able to make space for himself. You saw him pivoting on one foot, using his elbows and his shoulders, you know, creating space, making a pass over to get to Charles Prather, which is great, and he just has a really good eye for the game. He's able to see where people are, see where people will be, and it just makes him a great point guard.
So 14-10 Lions, 12 seconds left in the first quarter. Coach Spazio tells LaSalette what he wants them to do on this final play. And what the Lions really need to not happen is they need to not turn it over and then let Georgetown score and have the momentum going into the second quarter. Laronia with the ball, gets it to Fitzpatrick, goes around the screen, set by Gus. 5 seconds left, Eamon trying to set something up. He drives in and gets the ball tipped away. It's going to stay LaSalette ball with less than a second left. Lions are just going to have to pass it in and then shoot immediately off the release. We'll see what happens. Ref signal no good. The buzzer sounded before Fitzpatrick shot it, but it was no good anyway.
And the Lions will come out in the lead of the 14-10, and we're going into the second quarter. The Lions have been pretty good on offense right now. They've been, I think they've been doing pretty well on defense. You know, we've been getting a lot of rebounds. Charles Prather has been a rebound monster tonight. He's been able to get in there too, against 3 players, grab that ball, secure it, get it to his team, and that's just huge for this Lions team tonight, because we don't necessarily have a shooting team right now, but we have a big team, so we want to get into the paint, put some layups up, and we've been doing great at jump shots, you know, elbow shots over by the corner too, left and right, and that was Charles Prather was a big part of that.
So we got a question, is Father Deister in the house? Yes, he is. When the timeout screen goes away, you'll see him on the far left side of the court sitting in the stands.
And the Lions are going to be coming out of their timeout. Hopefully it brings some momentum. We can get something like a jumper, maybe a steal, maybe another three from Eamon Martin. You know, I want to see William Fitzpatrick take a couple threes. You know, he is a very good three-point shooter. He's also great at stealing the ball, so we'll see what he can do tonight.
Eamon Martin with the ball, throws it across the court to William Fitzpatrick. Nice pass into Gus Blood. He gets triple teamed, and so they swing it back around. Gus flashes up to the elbow, takes the shot, and that is good. Gus Blood's first points of the season. Great catch and release by Gus there.
He really came out at the end of last blue and white game. He was knocking down shots left and right, and he was a little timid last season, but you know, he is aggressive, really aggressive this year, making shots, taking rebounds, playing really good defense. You see him right now with the ball, stepping, making some space for himself, gets the shot to Eamon Martin, but that'll be no good. Rebounded by Georgetown.
Cameron Steinbach dribbling in the corner, drives around, and you gotta appreciate a nice play like that. That was a really good play by Georgetown. However, that does cut the Lions' lead to 4 points.
Nice catch by Eamon Martin, gets it to top of the key, to Blaze. Chuck loses it. Rebounded by Hall, or stolen by Hall. Now Fitzpatrick recovers it. Gets it to Blaze, over to Eamon Martin. Looking for a shot, finds Gus at the corner.
Nice, strong pump fake.
William Fitzpatrick over to Blaze Aronia. Blaze Aronia passes it to Gus, slips out of his hands, and that's Hall with another grab. Or, excuse me, that was Hummel.
Watson misses a shot. Charles Prather yet another rebound.
Fitzpatrick keeping it, slowing everything down. Blaze Aronia fakes it, gets it back to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick over to Eamon Martin. Slowing things down, looking for an open pass. Gets it to Blaze Aronia. Back to Martin, over to Fitzpatrick. Fakes the three. Dribbles over to Eamon Martin. Fitzpatrick gets the ball stripped from him by Steinbach. However, the ball will stay with the Lions. Lions kind of, it's hard for them to find an opening right now, looking for players down in the post, not having anything. Eamon Martin brings it to the top of the key.
So the Lions haven't trailed it all this game. They've had they started off, of course, with not a big lead, but then they did stretch their lead out pretty big, but now it's only down to 4 points, 16-12.
And the Lions have kind of slowed down on offense. They were being really aggressive in the first quarter, making shots, and now it's just Georgetown's defense is tightened up, and it's hard to find those open looks they had earlier.
Charles Prather guarding number 14, Hummel. And Georgetown's going to get called for a travel, and it'll be La Salette ball.
And here's the full court press. Blaze and Gus coming in. Fitzpatrick gets it to Gus in the middle. Back to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick gets to Eamon. He's got a couple seconds left, and he'll get it past 10-second line. Over to Fitzpatrick. Chuck with the ball. Trying to make space. Drives baseline. Nice layup. That's no good. Blaze Aronia gets the ball knocked out of him. Dish off by Gus Blood to Charles Prather. Takes the jumper. No good. Blaze Aronia tips it back in, and that's recovered by Steinbach. Bring it quickly up the court. Spin move, and that's in for two. Rolls off the fingers. And now Fitzpatrick really slowing things down. He's gonna try to break the press. He'll get past his defender. Chuck Prather now with it. And now back to Eamon Martin. They really gotta come up with something this possession to keep their lead. And Coach Spezia will call a timeout for the Lions. Not really happy with their offense right now. They've kind of stalled out at 16 points. They're going to try to figure out what to do. What have you noticed about how the loss of that offense and how Georgetown has kind of adapted with their defense?
Well, I could see definitely that they're not leaving Eamon Martin open at the three-point line anymore. The only time that he ever gets open, he's too far back to really take a good shot. So that's kind of eliminating Eamon because he's definitely not driving in very much just because of how many people we have down low already. I think that if Gus and Blaze can start to contribute a little bit more on offense, that'd be great just because right now they're focusing on the guards and Chuck. And Gus has made a shot already, but they need to get the ball down to the other big men because that's where I think we'll be able to wear out Georgetown because they can't guard all of us at once. So it's just a matter of getting the ball to whoever isn't guarded as strongly.
And the Lions on defense, they really got to watch Cameron Steinbach. He's got 5 points right now. But he's also just kind of spearheading Georgetown's offense and defense. He's kind of leading them through, and he's kind of dragging defenders to guard him.
Eamon gets the ball tipped away by Watson, but he's unable to maintain possession. It's going to be lost Salette ball again.
And it kind of gives the momentum to Georgetown, and they're bringing the press, trying to slow our offense down. We'll see what Fitzpatrick can do. Gus with the ball. Nice footwork, or gets it across the court. Fitzpatrick now with it. Eamon Martin, top of the key. Over to Blazeronia. Looks for it, finds Chuck, and slips right out of the hands. And that's about the third turnover I've seen that just slipped out of our players' hands. And that just means, I don't know, we're not really paying attention. We got to really get our heads in the game right now.
I think it's also that the players are having to adapt to game speed passes. Georgetown's just so fast that if you don't pass it quick enough, you're going to get it stolen. So I think the players on the receiving end aren't quite up to that speed yet. Georgetown's going to call a timeout with a little under 4 minutes left in the second quarter.
And the score, I don't believe, has changed in this second quarter. Might have changed by 2 from Georgetown. Salette has not scored at all. And on offense, they're still just not really finding anything. You know, Chuck was kind of dominant in the beginning, but he had a couple of jumpers, but they haven't really gotten the ball to him. They almost got it to him last time. It slipped out of his fingers. And I don't know, maybe Matthew Romero needs to go back in. Fitzpatrick is doing a decent job getting the ball moved around, but he's not as big of a threat as Matthew Romero.
And I think we can kind of trace back the Lions' decline to back when there was those, what I would say, 2 missed calls in a row. Eamon not drawing the foul, and then Matthew getting called for a foul as well. And the Lions kind of slowed down a little bit. They did speed up a bit with Gus's shot, but besides that, they've just kind of been on a slow decline.
And Matthew Romero is back into the game. He came in for Blaze Laronia. So now we got 2 big men and 3 shooters. And it also looks like Salette's going into a zone defense. So we can see what happens here.
Cameron Steinbaugh dribbling around. He's very, very quick. Definitely hard to guard him. Charles Prather helps with the defense. Fitzpatrick tips the ball away, but Gus unable to take the ball from J.J. Hall. Hall drives in, and his shot bounces out, and Eamon comes with the rebound.
Kind of saw Eamon Martin kind of hop above everybody's heads there. Eamon has great hops. Can jump very high. And now Fitzpatrick at the wing, guarded by Steinbaugh all over him. Eamon Martin with the ball again, everyone all over him. Matthew takes the 3, that's knocked away by Watson, and he'll bring it up the court, loses control of it, and he'll regain it, and Matthew takes him out from the ankles, and that will be Georgetown's ball, and I believe Matthew's 2nd foul of this game.
Definitely not what coach wants to see after he puts Romero in, that he immediately fouls, and he is going to get subbed out right then, and Daniel Duggan will get into the game for the first time this season.
And he's wearing my favorite number, number 12. My brother wore that, and for the 1 year I played, that's the number I wore.
Charles Prather gets his hand on that shot by Steinbaugh. Is able to prevent that from going in. Eamon with the ball now taking over as point guard. Duggan cuts out, but ball doesn't get to him. Goes to Fitzpatrick over on the wing. Duggan flashes up top. He has the ball now. Strong pass to Eamon.
Chuck gets it, has it in the corner. Duggan gets it over to Fitzpatrick. And Duggan will take his first shot of the season, and that is good. Daniel Duggan, 4-2, coming out strong. Duggan, a defensive player, 2 great plays in a row, tips the ball, steals it, and Lions ball, gaining back their momentum.
Watson tried to take a shot. He was off balance. He pivoted, and Duggan just took it right out of his hands.
Eamon now with the ball, gets it over to Daniel Duggan. Fitzpatrick, bounce pass into Eamon Martin. Getting bodied up, and Watson with a 3rd steal in this quarter. Throws it up, no good. Rebound Georgetown, throws it up again, no good. Hall with the rebounds. And that's 4 rebounds to Georgetown, and finally the ball is knocked out of bounds. However, it will stay with Georgetown.
So that's 4 missed shots by Georgetown, 3 offensive rebounds, and then the ball eventually getting tipped up by Gus Blood. We saw a similar occurrence in the JV game earlier this night where the same thing happened. Georgetown got 3 offensive rebounds in a row and just kept missing their shots, and that's really draining for the Lions, and they cannot have it happen. They have to box out.
And Gus tips it. Hall goes up for 2. He'll get fouled, and that's in for 2.
Lions with 5 fouls now with a minute 38 left as Georgetown brings the score to 18-16. If they make this free throw, they'll be within 1.
And Kavanaugh comes in for Watson.
Watson definitely one of the better players on the Georgetown team, but he does get tired easily. We see him kind of huffing and puffing as he comes up after a possessions change.
Strong defensive players, got a lot of tips, and Charles Prather, Eamon Martin, miscommunication. Both go up for the rebound, and it's Georgetown's ball again.
That's a big mistake, especially as the half winds down.
Minute 34. And that is another foul on the Lions. Number 12, Daniel Duggan. And that is going to put Georgetown Buffalo into the bonus, I believe. Steinball, not a player you want to foul, is at the free throw line for 1-and-1. First shot no good, and ball's live, and another mistake. Daniel Duggan touches it, but Fitzpatrick recovers, and Eamon bringing the ball fastly up the court. Gets it to Duggan, over to Fitzpatrick, minute 17 seconds. Gus Blood in the middle, over to Duggan, Duggan over to Eamon, Eamon drives, takes the jumper, and that's good for 2. What a beautiful shot by Eamon Martin. Steinball, tightly guarded by Fitzpatrick, gets it over to number 14, Hummel. Hummel drives right, goes into Blood, might have been a travel there. Nice block by Charles Prather. Over the ball will stay with Georgetown with 51 seconds.
Cameron Steinbach is going to inbound. What Georgetown's been doing a lot is Steinbach inbounds quickly to Hall, and then he runs around and uses Hall as a screen, and then he just dumps it off to him, and then he'll drive in. So Salette will probably figure that out. Georgetown has trouble getting it in. A.J. Watson with a nice layup to get it in to put Georgetown within 2, 20-18 with 45 seconds left. Fitzpatrick's pass is too high. Through Charles Prather's hands, Gus Blood tries to save it, but he gives it back to Georgetown. Watson spins, tries to shoot, no good. Hummel tries to shoot, no good as well, and Gus Blood comes away with the rebound.
Eamon Martin taking it slow, and you know the Lions, they need to take it slow, but they need to take it slow when they're going for rebounds and stuff. You know, they're kind of frantic out there. And Charles Prather takes another shot, and that's no good. Looking for a foul, nothing's called. Steinball.
10 seconds left as Steinbach comes up the court, guarded by Fitzpatrick. He's probably going to try and take it in himself and score as he passes it to Hummel. He takes the 3. That's good. Eamon Martin fires off a desperate shot, but the clock has already gone, and that's no good. So not what the Lions want. Defense fell apart, and now Georgetown is up for the first time, 21-20 going into halftime. We'll take a quick break for halftime, and then we'll be back to bring you the second half of play. Welcome back to the second half of the Salette Lions game against Georgetown Ridge-Farm Buffaloes. I'm Kevin Quigley with Michael McCall, and we're excited to see the Lions make a comeback down by 1 point right now, 20-21, and need to make the comeback and beat Georgetown this big rivalry game.
And Salette is not foreign to comebacks. 2007, Father Deister came with a beautiful comeback down 2. Couple seconds left in the game, gets fouled at the three-point line, shoots 3 free throws, wins the game by 1. So hopefully it doesn't get that close, but hopefully we can see some exciting events like that in tonight's game. I want to give a quick shout out for all those commenting. Thank you so much. A couple old players from last year, Joseph Dertola and Stephen Deister, thank you. Another great basketball player, alumnus, James Deister. Thank you for your comments. Please give us feedback on anything so we can improve your entertainment for Lions basketball. And here we go for the second half of this Lions basketball game.
At halftime, I heard one of the Georgetown coaches complaining that he thought that somewhere in the books they missed one of Georgetown's points, and they thought that they should be up by another point, but I think they're just griping a little bit.
And Watson gets the ball quick off the rebound, quick off the inbound pass, and he gets quick too. Eamon Martin throws the ball a little bit too strong, goes out of bounds. Lions gonna have to calm down a little bit, control themselves, get a couple steals. And Blaze Lornia is gonna pick up Steinball. Ball over in the corner, no good. Rebound, Charles Prather. And it's called a jump ball. The ball will stay with the Lions. I don't know what quite happened there, but refs call jump ball, and Eamon inbounds it to Matthew Romero. Trying to break this press. Nice fake passing from Matthew Romero. Got to get it past 10-second line, gets it into Blaze Lorania. A little dangerous pass, but Eamon Martin gets it. Breaks Watson's defense. Has Matthew open on the left. He'll dish it to Blaze Arunia, tipped by Watson, and the ball will stay with White.
I definitely saw after Watson tipped it that Blaze's fingers did get on it. The Georgetown coach was yelling that it should be our ball, and the referee just shook his head at him, so nice to see a call go our way.
And Eamon Martin looking for an open man. Drives past Steinball, drives to the paint, almost shoots it over to Blaze Arunia. Blaze Arunia, good for 2. Smooth, beautiful shot by Blaze Arunia, number 3. Steinball, tightly guarded by Blaze Arunia. Blaze just enveloping him. No fouls though. Now Watson with it. Gets it over to Steinball. Bad pass. Lions are going to get the ball. 22-23, down by 1. And thank you to our old broadcasting buddy, Joseph Mackin. Taught us a lot of what we know. Eamon trying to break the press. Breaks it. Gus Blood wide open down low. Hesitates. Gets it to Matthew Romero. Over to Charles Prather. Back to Romero. Eamon Martin could have taken the shot, but doesn't. Drives. Nice drive. Backs out. Slowing things down. Charles Prather trying to set something up. A little confusion, looks like it. Ball tipped. Eamon Martin dives for it. Travel. Took too many steps.
That was great hustle by Eamon, though. If he hadn't gone in and secured that ball, that would have been a sure turnover for Georgetown. He did get in and make a great attempt, but Georgetown ends up coming with it after he travels. Eamon leading scorer for the Lions right now with 10 points. Charles Prather close behind with 4. Charles has 6 rebounds though.
And Aaron McQuett for Georgetown. 6 a shot. Lions break the press. Eamon trying to find something. Lions look a little disorganized out there. Matthew gets it. Gets it to Charles Prather. Back over to Matthew Romero. Over to Blaze Arunia. Swings it to Eamon Martin. Nice pass into Charles Prather. And he'll lay it up, and he's pushed. And I think he'll be going to the free throw line for 2 2 shots.
That's Hall's second foul of the game. That's Georgetown's first, though.
Lions had quite a few fouls in the first half of this game. Georgetown was in the bonus at the end of the half. Hopefully we can get that under control.
Charles misses his first free throw, but we'll see if he can make it on the second attempt. And make it he does as it clanks in. Steinbach pushing the Buffaloes back up the court quickly, drives in, and he does get his layup in.
And you know, the Lions were not set up for that. He just drove right in there before the Lions were ready, and he caught them off guard. And the Lions, that's something they can, the Lions just losing the ball. And Eamon Martin's able to recover it, but he loses it. Steinbach tips it, and Georgetown gets the ball, and they were just running over us right there. They were just bringing the energy, and Salette was kind of struggling to get control of the ball. Georgetown took advantage of that. Watson with it. Almost trapped by Chuck, but Watson gets rid of it, and that's a foul called on the Lions.
That foul's going to be on number 22, Charles Prather. That's his first, though.
And for a second, I thought it was going to be on Matthew Romero, but thankfully it wasn't. Matthew already has three fouls. Hall with it. Gets it over to Watson. He's open. Dribbles, takes the shot. Gus was in his face, but he'll sink that shot.
Lions down 23-29 now. Struggling to break the press. Eamon does, though. Gets it to Charles. Gus has the ball now in the corner. And a great job to draw the foul. He was pivoting, and number 14, Logan Hummel, was getting way too physical on him, and eventually the ref had enough of it and called the foul.
Yeah, you know, the Lions are kind of hesitating a lot on offense. Their passes are a little slow, and Georgetown's just jumping on top of that with 2 quick players, Steinbach and Watson. So Salette just got to quicken up their play. Blaze takes a floater, no good. Georgetown with the rebounds. Drives in, loses control of it, and that'll be Lions ball. No, it's not. It must have been tipped by a Lions player. The ball will stay with Georgetown.
Coach Spezia calls a timeout now to slow things down because the Lions have been letting it get a bit out of control there, letting their passing game get pretty sloppy. Georgetown up 29-23 on the Lions. It's a packed house tonight. If you look out, the stands are almost completely filled. It looks almost like it's Parents' Weekend.
And the Grazers are here as normal, roaring up a ruckus over in the stands. The Lions, they always have that advantage when other teams come to play the Lions. They've always got the crazies to have the teams back, which is great. The Lions right now, Blaze Aroni in the game. Really good in the first quarter, tipping balls, stealing them. And he's got to slow that down a little bit. He's taking a couple shots, sunk in a couple of them. Charles Prather really came out in the first quarter, but we haven't seen too much of him in this second half. Still got a whole quarter and 4 minutes left of the third quarter. Let's see what the Lions can do on this possession. They really need a steal right now and get down the court and shorten this lead to a 1-possession game. Into Hall, and that's good for 2. Matthew gets it, back over to Eamon. Watson bringing the pressure. And Watson will steal it right out of Matthew's hands, and he'll put it up for 2. Matthew puts the ball on the floor, gets to Blaze Laronia. Blaze, nice pass to Gus Blood. Stalls out. Eamon at the top of the key with it. Now Matthew with it. Almost tipped again by Watson, but ball's now in Laronia's hands. Shoots it, no good. Nice rebound by Charles Prather. Has Eamon at the top of the key, but he's fouled. I did not quite see who that was on. Lions ball, Eamon Martin inbounding. Gets it to Charles Prather. Charles Prather travels, takes 2 steps before he puts the ball on the ground. Looks like he's a little upset by that call.
Steinball passed it to the 14 Hummel. Matthew Garden-Steinball has the ball again, throws the ball up and somehow gets the shot off. It does go in, but the ref calls no, that the foul's gonna be called on the floor. So luckily for the Lions, that won't count as a shooting foul, because otherwise that'd be the possibility for 3 points, but instead it's gonna say no points. As Steinball tries to get the ball back in, he does get it in.
And Blaze Laronia with the steal, and he's fouled running up the court.
It's gonna be fouled by number 24, McKay. That's Georgetown's 3rd foul this half. Lions doing a good job keeping their fouls down. They only have 1 so far in the half.
And miscommunication there. Eamon Martin passes it into Blaze Laronia. Blaze tries to pass it back, and that'll go out of bounds. Georgetown's ball. Steinball bringing it up the court, gets past the 10-second line. Hummel with it, tightly guarded by Martin, drives, and picked off by Eamon Martin, 1v1. Nice step, Eamon Martin, beautiful layup with his right hands, good for 2.
That was an insane play by Eamon, trying to fight through the double team. He spun Steinball around and kept number 24, McKay, from getting to him, and made that layup. That was a tough play. Gus Blood going to be called for another foul. That's his 3rd, Lions' 2nd. Gus is having trouble keeping his feet set on those drives into the paint.
I think we've had 3 attempts at a charge, 2 by Charles, 1 by Gus. Their feet were moving. Chuck, also the play was stopped before he was able to be called, before he was able to get the charge. But Daniel Duggan comes into the game for Blaze Laronia. Daniel Duggan came out really hot when he first came in, scoring and then stealing the ball. Shows he could bring some energy.
Second shot is good. Lions deficit is now 9 points, 34-25. Lions were down by 10 and they cut it to 8, but now down by 9 again. Daniel Duggan into the game for Blaze Laronia. Gus Blood with the shot, just off. Charles Prather with the rebound, and that's going to be a jump ball call. Nice offensive rebound by Chuck, though.
Georgetown was all over Chuck. No foul called. Jump ball Chuck is getting aggressive down there, and he's just got to make sure he keeps it in control, which he has been so far this game. Watson with it. Gets past Eamon Martin, over to Hall. Nice, swatted away by Charles. He'll recover it. And he got to get it past Watson, but he will. Eamon takes past 10-second line, flies past Watson. Spin move over to Matthew. Doesn't take it. Duggan over to Eamon. Has Matthew open, doesn't give it to him. Charles Prather in the post. Nice play by Charles Prather. He's fouled by Hall. That's Hall's 3rd. We got to rack up those fouls on Hall and get the big man out for Georgetown.
Chuck has the chance to bring the Lions back within 7 if he makes both his shots. First shot is good. Textbook free throw right there by Charles.
And he's 3 for 4 right now. Daniel Bergman, excuse me, number 15. He's coming in for Gus Blood. We got 3 seniors, 2 juniors out there on the court. And his second one is good. Beautiful free throw shots by Charles Prather. Steinball gets it quickly up to 24. Charles looking for the charge, doesn't get it. However, he'll cause Georgetown to miss it. Matthew gets it over the court to Eamon Martin. Martin looking for someone. Georgetown playing a heavy zone defense. Back to Matthew Romero, over to Eamon Martin. And he'll draw the foul on Hummel. That's his 2nd. Is that the team's 5th foul? Yes, it is.
Salette doing a very good job of drawing fouls. Georgetown is close to conceding the bonus to La Salette, and we're not even in the fourth quarter yet. That could be a very crucial part of the game as we get down to the end. Another lucky break for the Lions. Matthews' pass gets picked off, but then it does go off of Cameron Steinbaugh's foot.
The Lions, they're controlling the ball right now. They're not making any dumb mistakes, which is good. We got to keep that up. Daniel Duggan's been doing a good job controlling it. He's been getting it around the court, says Matthew. Amon gets the ball jugged, and he'll get another foul on Georgetown. That's on Hall, his fourth, team's 6.
Hall's gonna come out of the game, and number 50, Tristan Hepburn's gonna go in. J.J. Hall probably won't see the court again unless it gets down to the wire late in the fourth quarter.
And Charles Prather going to the free throw line, 1-1. Lions are in the bonus. Charles, he'll miss it. Nice rebound. Eamon Martin, he'll get hacked. And the refs will call it this time. Eamon Martin, a fantastic free throw shooter. He's going to the free throw line to hopefully knock down 2 points. That foul is on.
I'm not quite sure who that was on because...
Oh, to number 2, Watson.
Right, okay. The ref showed up 2 fingers twice. I thought he meant number 22, but then I realized it was number 2 shooting 2.
And
Amon makes his free throw, luckily, so that will be cutting the lead to 6 points. There's going to be a free throw violation on Georgetown. Amon misses it, but he's going to get the ball back because number 50, Hepburn, got psyched out, and Amon's going to get to shoot again.
And if Amon had made that, that could have been a 3-point play right there, but he's not going to make that second free throw. And he's going to get another shot at it, and he'll knock that one down.
Costly mistake by Georgetown. I'm sure that's getting in Hepburn's head. He just came onto the court, and now he committed a big mistake to let the Lions take a little bit of that lead back.
The Lions really got to get a stop right here, get the momentum back. Watson takes the 3, no good. Amon will swat at it, and he'll be called for the foul.
On that possession, Steinbaugh, it looks like Burma is guarding him, and he accidentally hit Steinbaugh in the eye, so he's kind of rubbing his eye right now. There wasn't a foul called, which was good.
Lions, tight defense. Timeout called Georgetown. There was nothing on the court. Beautiful defense there. Charles rallying the troops. Getting some energy in the timeout. The Lions very well played in the second half of this game. You know, they've slowed themselves down. They're correcting their mistakes. Not too many blunders in the second half. Their defense has really tightened up. And the Lions have been controlling the ball for a lot of the time in this second half. They're keeping the ball out of Georgetown's hands, which is good.
Yeah, momentum definitely swinging in the hands of the Lions. If they can stay calm, then they'll probably be able to pull back into the lead.
No substitute changes. Same 5 players come back out onto the court. Just under a minute left in the third quarter. Lions down by 5. Daniel Duggan will get the foul called on him. Watson gets past him, but the foul will be on the floor.
Yeah, luckily that shot doesn't count, and it isn't an and-one, but at the same time, the Lions need to stay out of the bonus. Since they're already in the bonus, that's a huge advantage they have. If they concede that, then they're just giving that advantage away.
Nice interception by Charles Prather. Everyone rolling on the ground right now, and it will be called a jump ball. And it's Lions ball. Nice hustle there by Eamon Martin and Charles Prather. Gets it into Daniel Duggan. Eamon Martin over to Matthew Romero. Matthew, and I don't know what just happened, but Steinball and Charles Prather looks like collided. And there's another foul on the court. Lions going to the free throw line. 1-on-1. Eamon Martin's fouled. And Kavanaugh comes in for Watson. The Lions keeping the momentum. first one is good. He's going to stay at the free throw line for a second attempt. Second free throw is good. Nice shooting by Eamon Martin. Matthew Miro comes up on Steinball, excuse me, and he'll be called for a foul. I believe that's his fourth foul.
Yeah, that was definitely a stupid play by Matthew Romero to come up and foul him with really no reason, and he probably won't see the court at all maybe this game because that's his fourth foul.
And William Fitzpatrick, he'll come into the game for Matthew Romero. Hummel inbounds to Steinball. Fitzpatrick trying to lead him to his left. Hummel drives left. The ball, and yes, there is a charge called by Charles Prather. Charles pumped up after taking that charge. He's been wanting that since the first quarter, and he'll finally get it. It's exactly what Coach Spazzi wants to see right now. Lions down by 3.
Georgetown not pressing anymore. That's good to see because that just makes it that much easier for La Salette. They're not going to get a turnover until they get down to the court, hopefully, if at all.
Fitzpatrick gets it. Duggan and Fitzpatrick sharing the ball right now, back and forth. Duggan tells him to spread it, and Duggan gets it across. Nice play by Daniel Duggan. Eamon now with the ball, 6 seconds left. Looking for a shot, wants a buzzer beater. Takes the James Harden shot, and what a shot by Eamon Martin. Step back. Beautiful.
And he puts the Lions within 1 point with that shot. That was the best shot all game by far. Lions down by only 1 point now, 33-34. That was exactly what the Lions needed. There was nothing that could have helped them more in that moment. Now they have the momentum. Georgetown is dejected sitting on the bench right now. Their coach is not happy either. Their big man, 55, Hall, is in foul trouble. And the momentum is finally swinging into the Lions' way. And last season, the third quarter was always the worst quarter for the Lions. They always had trouble maintaining leads. And this quarter, they came back from being down 10, and now they're only down by 1. So that is incredible by the Lions, and good job, Eamon Martin.
Yeah, and Hall, who we just said was in foul trouble, he's coming back into the game for Georgetown. So is Watson. Georgetown getting a little nervous. Their defense kind of slacked off there. But Lions just have to keep this momentum. They have the momentum right now, down by 1. They just got to keep it. They got to come out strong right now. Daniel Bergman's coming out, and our big man Blaze Neronia coming back in. You know, he's great on defense. He can hopefully get a stop. He's probably coming back in because Hall is back in the game. But also, thank you for all those giving comments. We always appreciate the feedback and whatever we can get. So thank you very much. Steinball quick to the basket. Eamon looking for the charge. Blaze Neronia with the rebound. Fitzpatrick runs into the ref, but he'll keep control of the ball. Duggan gets to Eamon Martin. Now Eamon's being double guarded. Back to Daniel Duggan. Fitz puts the ball on the ground, gets it to Daniel Duggan. Back to Fitz. Patrick, nice pass into Charles Prather. Charles over to Fitzpatrick. Fakes it, drives. Over to Eamon Martin. Eamon, nice threat. Jumps, takes the jumper. He'll be fouled. Going to the free throw line. Eamon Martin just dominating today's basketball game. Keeping the momentum in the house for the Lions right now.
And now going to the line with the chance, with 2 free throws, the chance to put the Lions back in the lead. First shot is good, and we are tied up at 34 all in the fourth quarter. Eamon's second shot is up, and it is good. Lions are in the lead, 35-34.
Eamon sees the man, gets him, and he loses the ball. Charles Prather comes up with it. Eamon Martin sprinting down towards the other end of the court, slows it down. Drives to the rim, reverse, not smart play. Blaze Neronia with the rebound, tipped. Hall with the rebounds.
Steinbach taking it back up the court. Watson wide open. and he puts it in.
Smart play there by Eamon Martin. Very potentially could have fouled him, but controls himself and just lets Watson score, which is better than fouling him. 36-35, Georgetown with the lead. Fitzpatrick trying to find something over to Daniel Duggan. Georgetown playing a tight zone right now, not letting anything in, and in result, Coach Spezia is going to call a timeout. He's kind of talk things through, trying to figure out how to penetrate Georgetown's defense. But what a night Eamon Martin has had. And it looks like our third big man down to the post. Augustin Blood's coming back into the game. I do not know who he's coming in for, but he is coming back in.
Lions have 6.5 minutes left to secure the victory. Momentum definitely in their favor, but it can swing back and forth, and all it takes is a couple miscues, and we could be down by, I don't know, 5 points in just a matter of seconds.
Yeah, the Lions in this moment right now, they really got to keep control. They got to control the ball, control their passes, be smart with their fouls. They're in the bonus, which is a huge advantage for them, especially when the clock starts ticking down and Georgetown is pressured on time. So this game right now is just a game of control, right? And it'll be Lions ball. Gus Blood, he's in for Blazeronia. Fitzpatrick over to Duggan. Duggan, nice pass into Gus Blood. Gus Blood holds it. And jump ball is called. And it will remain with the Lions. Eamon Martin inbounding. Finds Daniel Duggan. Fitzpatrick, over to Fitzpatrick, back to Daniel Duggan, Eamon Martin. Kind of a bullet pass right to Eamon Martin. Eamon picks up his dribble, gets it over to Daniel Duggan. Fitzpatrick now with it. Guarded by Steinball, dribbles right, gets it over to Duggan. Duggan over to into Charles Prather. Three by Eamon Martin, that's no good. Rebound Georgetown. Fitzpatrick with a deflection, he'll recover it. Going down, he jumps up, nice pass to Daniel Duggan, he'll miss it. Gus Blood with the rebound and in for two.
What a sequence of plays right there. Fitzpatrick with the steal, with the consciousness to not go up and get his shot swatted. And then Duggan with the rebound, Gus with the rebound and eventually making it.
And Steinball comes right back with the delivery. Gets past Fitzpatrick, but now Fitzpatrick coming back to strike again. Trying to find something. Gets to Eamon Martin. Martin drives up to the top of the key.
And it is deafening in here. I'm sure you can hear it just coming in through our microphones. It is hard to hear even with the headset on. Eamon Martin with the shot. No good. Knocks it around. Now they're going to dive on the floor, and there's going to be a jump ball called.
What a play by Charles Prather, diving on the ground face first. Gets his hand on the ball and stops the momentum. Georgetown's ball. But nice play there by Charles Prather. Steinball gets past Fitzpatrick. Duggan tries to reach for it, and the foul will be called on him.
That is not a good play by Duggan. We cannot be giving up fouls right now in this close of a game, and reaching for it right there is not the right play to do, and Duggan knows it just because even if you secure it then, or even if you miss without fouling, then he's around you. What he needs to do is just slide his feet and stay in front of him.
And that does put Georgetown in the bonus. Steinball makes the first one. They're 1-1. He's shooting 1 for 1 right now, so he'll take his second shot. And that's good. Score 40-37. Lions down by 3. Fitzpatrick takes it past the 10-second line. Has Duggan open to his right. Trying to find something. Gets it into Charles Prather. And Charles Prather, nice move, drives in. Hall meets him there. He throws it up. And that's a rebound by Hummel.
Steinbach taking it back up the court. Lions need to keep him from driving in, which is what he's going to try and do. Passes out to Watson.
And Hummel open at the three. No good. Gus Blood with the rebound. Scaring off Watson. Fitzpatrick going to try to find something this round. He has Duggan open. Doesn't give it to him. Now he does. But Duggan gives it right back to Fitzpatrick. Nothing there. Eamon Martin had the three, and off the hands of Gus Blood. Hall with the rebound, fumbling it.
And Georgetown's going to call a timeout. Georgetown came very close to losing it out of bounds with two different players right there, so the Georgetown coach, Tanner Ribbs, is going to try and slow play down. Father Carlisle is talking to Fitzpatrick out there, probably about running the offense. The Lions can't afford to go out and then not score.
The Lions, again, they just got to keep control of the ball. They got to control what they're doing out there. They're doing well with that. They kind of lost a little bit control, gave the ball up. Steinbach got in there for a two. But they just need to get the ball out, put some points on the board, and take this lead back.
It's a full timeout called by the Georgetown coach, so there'll be a minute that he gets to talk to his players.
And the Lions, they did lose to Georgetown last year in the St. Joachim's tournament, but my 8th grade year, 2019, in the Paris tournament, the Lions pulled off a victory, 57-34. But this game, a lot closer, just like the game in 2007 and the game last year. So hopefully the La Salette Lions can pull something off tonight.
Lions do have the possession error in their favor, so if there's a jump ball, La Salette will be getting the ball.
Both teams are also in the bonus. Watson kind of fumbles it, but he'll recover it. Duggan, nice defense, and Georgetown quickly calls one of their timeouts because Duggan is all over Watson. And there was the possibility of the 5-second rule where Duggan was tightly guarding him, and if Watson did not pass the ball within 5 seconds, it would have been a turnover.
And I just checked with the scorekeepers, and Georgetown has no timeouts left.
So if La Salette gets up and the clock is ticking, they have that to their advantage also. Georgetown coach did not look too happy that he had to call that timeout. And we're going to give all that credit to Daniel Duggan. Beautiful, stellar defense there. Lions coming out of the timeout. Same 5. It's Patrick. Talking to the players, trying to get something rolling.
Still have plenty of time left in the game, 3 minutes and 41 seconds, and only down by 3. La Salette can definitely string some good plays together.
Steinball drives in, gets it to Hall. Hall puts it up, no good. Gus Blood fighting for the rebound, and there's the jump ball, Lions ball. Nice job by Gus Blood there. Trying to secure it, was a little off balance, but he still held on to it. Eamon Martin hustling down the court, and Fitzpatrick brings it past the 10-second line. Nice pass to Eamon Martin. They got to get the ball out of the right side of the court. Eamon trying to find something, gets a screen by Fitzpatrick. Duggan now with it, over to Fitzpatrick, into Gus Blood. Gus dribbles hard, puts up a 2, no good, gets his own rebound, puts it up for 2, makes it, and is fouled, going to the free throw line, 4-1.
And Gus Blood is pumped up after that. He knows that he has the chance to bring the Lions to a tie game. That was a clutch play. He was in there, he took the decision to dribble in, he missed it, and he stuck with the play and pulled that rebound down and went up in, it was probably even tighter D, and not only that, but he just got a foul called on number 55, J.J. Hall, and he's out of the game. He is just fouled out.
That's a huge advantage for the Lions, you know, kind of brings the momentum down for Georgetown, and in response brings the momentum up for the Lions. Now Gus.
And that's good.
Knocks down his free throw. Beautiful by Augustin Blood, our big man down in the post.
Duggan guarding Watson. Duggan and Charles trap him. Fitz now on Steinball with the ball. Watson drives in, tries to get the shot. Charles Prey there on defense, doesn't let that go, and then Watson manages to get his shot off and get to the fall.
And the Lions being careful there, trying not to foul. Watson just grabs the ball and puts it in for two. 2 minutes, 33 seconds left. One possession game, Georgetown up. Nice pass into Charles Prey, they're driving into the hoop. What a fadeaway shot. Good for two, bringing the score back 42-42.
Neither team willing to concede an inch to the other team. They're both playing their hearts out right now. Hummel drives in, gets it to Watson, who misses it, and Duggan has the ball now. Gets it to Amon, and the Lions have reset their tide, and they have the chance to go into the lead, because all these last plays, every time that La Salette scored, Georgetown has come back down and has scored. Fitz does throw the ball away, though, and it goes off Amon's fingers.
Looked like it was tipped by Georgetown, but Amon reached to grab it, and it rolled off his fingers. Lions got to contain Georgetown right now. Kavanaugh comes in for Georgetown. Steinball gets past 10-second line. Fitzpatrick keeping up with them. Watson with it. Drives past Martin. Gus Blood meets him, and he meets a brick. And that's a travel on Watson. Another stellar play by Augustin Blood.
Great defense by Gus Blood. He set his feet, he put his hands up, and he didn't foul him, and Watson tried to move, and like you said, just hit a brick wall and travel out of bounds. La Salette has the ball again. Minute 30 left in the game, and they're gonna get the chance to go up on Georgetown.
Amon Martin with it. Taking it slow, trying to find something. Minute 18, clock ticking down, 42-42.
And Mr. James Golletley, you are right, pressure is on, but let me remind you all watching that the pressure is also on Georgetown. It's gonna be just as hard for them to win as it is for us. And don't forget, we're at home, we're in the Coliseum, we have the crazies. Kickball called on Georgetown.
And Gus Blood had the ball. Everyone's basically heart stopped. We thought he was going to go in there, but there was a kickball. Kind of slows down. Lets the Lions stabilize themselves, but it also lets Georgetown stabilize themselves. Fitzpatrick had an open shot, didn't take it. Over to Amon Martin. Who's going to take the winning shot? Lions, nice job controlling it. Amon drives in, wide open, puts it up for two. What a play by Amon Martin and the entire Lions offense.
We're gonna have a technical warning on White because the bench players jumped up off the bench onto the court. If they do that again, then that's gonna be a technical foul because the benches here are so close to the court that they jumped onto the court. So the bench players cannot lose the game for La Salette like that.
The Lions gotta lock down Steinball. He's looking for something, gets past Fitzpatrick, loses control of it. Then there is a foul on the court. Steinball's gonna go to the free throw line. That foul's on number 12, Daniel Duggan. 44-42, 27 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
On that play by Amon, that was an amazing screen set by Charles to get Amon open. Steinball misses the free throw. And La Salette stays up 44-42. If La Salette can maintain possession for the next 20 seconds, we'll win. Amon pushing the ball down the court quickly. 18 seconds left.
Georgetown not fouling Amon, and then they will. Amon, a fantastic free throw shooter. He's going to be fouled, going to the free throw line with 13 seconds. And again, this game could be decided by free throws. If Amon Martin makes these two free throws, it will be a two-possession game.
That foul is going to be on Cone Kavanaugh. He was subbed into the game after Hall fouled out. Eamon's free throw is up and good, and I am getting Father Dicer vibes. I wasn't there, but I've seen the pictures. If Eamon can make this, that makes it a 2-possession game for Georgetown. 45-42, Eamon Martin's free throw is up, and it is good. Oh,
And
no, it's
no,
not.
it rolls
I jinxed
out.
it.
And Eamon Martin almost gets the rebounds, and it's going to be Georgetown's ball. 3-point game.
Oh, I'm sorry I said that, but it was in like way more than it normally goes in for a miss.
Might have jinxed that there, but still a little bit of time left in this game.
Coach is telling Cameron Steinball to hurry up.
5 seconds. Clock ticking down. Beautiful defensive play by Duggan. Chucks up a shot. Gus Blood with the rebounds. And there is a foul on the play. Foul on the play. But the refs are not going to do anything.
The refs are leaving the court, and the Lions have won. The Lions have won 45-42 against Georgetown. The first victory against Georgetown in the Coliseum since 2007, and the first victory against Georgetown, period, since 2019. Wow.
What a fantastic game played by the Lions. They struggled down at the fourth quarter, but, you know, the Lions were resilient. They were not going to give up, and they came out fourth quarter, played absolutely stunning. Gus Blood knocking the free throw down, get some plays in. Eamon Martin with a beautiful layup at the end of the game to put us in the lead, and just overall fantastic play by the Lions.
Wow, so I wish I could give you all watching the scoring totals from this game, but in all the excitement, I stopped keeping track. What you need to know, Eamon Martin had at least 20 points, and, I mean, Salette won. Like, what else do you need?
And Gus Blood, stellar defense. The whole team, you know, came together. Great defense into the game. At the end of the game, and what we wanted to see is that control that they had, and they kept it, and they just were able to pull off the victory because of that.
Okay, so final score, 45-42. On behalf of the production crew tonight, I'd like to thank our producer, William Reen, our cameraman, Thomas Stafke, and then as always, your two broadcasters. I'm Kevin Quigley and Michael McCall signing off. Have a good night, everyone.